Welcome to your greatest life. Welcome everybody, I'm Dr. Kevin Gyurina and you're watching Unwinding Stress, where we take time to interview professionals. We go over philosophies and strategies, techniques, tools to help you be your best self, from relieving traumas and dramas in your life to making it one that you love to live. And today I have Renee Lennox with us, and we have an amazing conversation ahead of you for our time together. A healer, corporate turned healer.
Corporate turned healer.
Yeah, and what an amazing story. And I think this is so relevant in our society. We're zoomed out, we're meeting to death on these computers. People are grinding, morning, noon, night, in the middle of the night, text messages, emails, contacts, and we're just burned out in our corporate society. And that has ramifications on people. And that's just work, not mentioning other areas of life.
Right.
And so if you could, give us a little insight about what you do now, and then I want to ask you about how you got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now I am a certified holistic healthcare practitioner. I am a Reiki master, and I practice emotion code and body code. And do you want me to go into each thing?
So it's like, people you hear emotion code, and you hear body code, and you hear Reiki, but I think there's a lot of what is that? And so if you could share a little about it, because these are things that I do, these are things that I've been using in my life. I get treated by those people who do these type of things, and I just don't think the average person knows much about it.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to start with Reiki. Reiki is an ancient Japanese form of energy healing, and it's the Rei stands for universal, the Ki stands for energy. And because it's universal, it is for everyone. Adults, teens, children, babies.
We all have energy
toddlers.
flowing through us.
We all have energy.
Yeah.
And we have our bodies are made up of pure energy. And we have these 7 spinning vortexes of energy in us, the chakras. And when they're nice and aligned and balanced, everything's great, but so many things can throw them off balance. And one of the biggest things is our emotions.
Yes.
It's just unreal how much our emotions affect our health. Hatred affects the heart, anger and resentment affect the liver and gallbladder, fear affects our low back, kidneys, bladder, and people just don't realize how much the emotions are affecting us.
That's right.
And we've all been through intense trauma and had a lot of intense emotions that we dealt with. And every emotion also has an energetic frequency and vibration.
That's right.
And our bodies are taking on that vibration.
We literally become it.
We literally become that emotion. And it's during these intense emotion times when your body takes on that vibration that these emotions can actually get stuck inside the body.
Yeah.
And they're anywhere from the size of a baseball to a grapefruit, and they can just lodge in different areas of the body and we don't realize it. And the other thing that happens is, now that your body's taken on that frequency and you haven't released that energy, your body's dealing with that vibration 24/7, 7 days a week, months, years, decades, to where it can start to cause pain, malfunctions in organs and glands, and even lead to more serious illnesses.
Absolutely.
If we don't get rid of that energy.
Absolutely. Well, just to give her affirmation and give you affirmation on what's going on, just like X-ray, just like EKG, MRI, as technology enhances and as we are familiar with these unsolvable health concerns, there's new technologies that can see the chakras, they can see the aura, and they can see the effect of these negative emotions that build up. And it shows on these images.
Right.
And so that's Reiki. Now talk a little bit about emotion code and body code, because this is an amazing method that I've experienced, and it's dramatic change. Right. So if you could share a little bit about emotion code, body code, and what that is and how that works.
Okay, emotion code is where through kinesiology and muscle testing, I muscle test to see exactly what trapped emotions you may have.
And these are like trapped emotions, like patterns of thinking, patterns of experiences that we have based on getting triggered on something. So, if I was scared in a birthday party by a clown and a balloon popped, I might be afraid of clowns my whole life. And is that right?
Right. So we pinpoint our subconscious mind processes 400 billion bits of information per second.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind only processes 2,000 bits of information.
Is this where we get we use 10% of our brain kind of thinking from?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the brain's working all the time, 100%.
Right.
But just under the radar.
Your subconscious mind knows everything about you from the minute you were born. So I energetically connect to you, start muscle testing, we get to the exact trapped emotions, and then we have like a special magnet. It's all based on quantum physics, where I'll go down your meridian of your back, and we'll release trapped emotion. And you may have trapped emotions that you inherited from your parents, from grandparents, from ancestors. And the beautiful thing is that when we release it, it not only releases it from you, but from the grandparents. It goes all the way back, and we release that. And then that's emotion code, where we're getting rid of these baseball and golf ball trapped emotions.
By the body's own detection system through the muscle testing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a very patient-guided process.
Right.
You're not making things up. You're basically listening to their story.
Exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And then body code expands on emotion code, where we use the muscle testing again, and we can get to the underlying reason for any physical ailment that you're dealing with, any emotional, if you have depression, anxiety, any mental things that you're going through. And your subconscious will take me to one of 6 areas. It's either an energetic reason, one of your circuit or systems that may be off balance. It may be a toxin affecting you, a pathogen, a structural misalignment, or nutrition or lifestyle.
Right.
So your subconscious will take me to which category your particular issue is, and then it delves into all kinds of subcategories, and we'll be able to pinpoint like exactly different things that you've been through in your life, and we get rid of that energy that's been stored in there that needs to be released.
Well, what I want to say is, because I imagine there's some people watching this and going, I don't know about that. Well, I'm here to tell you, I do this in my practice in different forms, different things that I taught, but it's all from applied kinesiology, which is using the Chinese meridian system and the Chinese knowledge, the Eastern philosophies of healing, and incorporating into the Western thinking.
Right.
Because in the West, we are very good at the details of every specific thing, but yet have a hard time putting it all together.
Right.
And there's this internal force that turns on healing, but also it lets us know what it needs help from, because there's something blocking it. There's something in that conscious mind that the subconscious mind is not being affected by. The subconscious is running the program, is running the trauma, is running the drama.
Exactly.
And here we are.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a woman who lost her husband. He was only 40, 2 beautiful children, and ever since he passed away, she had a pain in her right trapezius muscle. We did Reiki, we did emotion code and body code. In one visit, the trapezius muscle was fine.
That's beautiful.
Didn't have the pain and never came back.
Yeah.
So in one session, you can literally release this trapped energy.
Well, the issues are in the tissues, I like to say, in my world, and the body does hold on to these things. Just think about body language when someone gets bad news or they have a bad email or an argument. That body language speaks everything.
Right.
And that's non-verbal communication. And if we investigated that, you'd see how everything is tied to these ideas of mind and energy and body and how they are all integrated.
Right.
So we're going to shift gears towards a little bit of how you're helping people now. So you've been doing this work for about how long?
It's been 3 years so far.
3 years,
that I've been doing it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So you got some good experiences, and you've got some patient changes.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing mostly now with people? Reiki and the body code, or how does sessions look?
I always start everybody out with a Reiki session because I just feel like we have to get your chakras nice and balanced. I use a black tourmaline pendant, and I'll go down each one of your chakras, and if it spins, I know it's nice and open.
Okay.
If there's an area that needs work, it'll stop dead.
Okay.
And I have essential oil blends for those chakra areas and crystals for those areas. So I'll do a nice hour-long Reiki session, and then I muscle test to see if you have any trapped emotions that need to be released, and then I'll do an emotion code. And then I'll see if we need to go further for body code.
Okay.
I also have a bioenergetic scanner where you put your hand on a hand cradle, and it measures galvanic skin responses, like a lie detector test. And it measures your 4 core body systems and measures 180 different biomarkers.
Yeah.
And it'll tell me any of your core systems that may be off balance. And it has all my homeopathic line in there that will show me which tinctures will bring your those systems back into balance.
Excellent. So again, this is something I want to help get people their grasp around it. You mentioned the black tourmaline. You mentioned the crystals.
Right.
These are materials in nature, right? And they all have elements and molecules. They all have certain properties. It sounds like, and I'm kind of being a bit facetious for everybody out there, but it sounds like these crystals, and the black tourmaline is one of them, they respond to the human body.
Right.
And through the use on that, it's like they hold an energy, and they either detect or they help enhance something within ourselves. How do you see the crystals working with people?
I'm just amazed at, when I do that, the spinning thing, and then like their next visit, they'll come and I'll do it again, and you see the improvement.
Yeah.
I had another woman who lost her son, and her heart, we also build heart walls from all the different trauma that
like
we've been through.
self-defense mechanisms.
Right, it's
Yeah,
a protective wall that we build around her heart. She had such a wall up, which you can imagine losing your child. And when we did the Reiki and emotion code and body code, by her 3rd session, she came in and I did my pendant, and her heart was like spinning, and I was like, oh my God, Patty. And she's like, I'm telling you, you completely opened my heart. We got the heart wall down. She said, I'm ready to get out there again. I'm
That's
ready
beautiful.
to date. I'm ready to move, So it's just amazing to see the difference in people all through the energy work.
Our bodies build these things automatically from our subconscious, sounds like what you're saying.
Yep.
Well, hang on everybody for a moment. We're going to dive a little more deeply into your story and some of the other patients' stories. So we'll be back just after this break. Stay tuned.
Guess what it is? It's Mount Laurel, New Jersey. It's RBN Television, and you know that it's time for morning coffee.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds. They're back.
Yes, I hear them.
Uh-oh. Why are these birds so angry?
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
I'm going. Ah!
Hurry!
I know.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Welcome. I'm Barry Lefkowitz. I'm your host on New Perspectives on RVN TV. I come to you each week with issues and topics that you will generally find in the news. And if you're looking to be able to get caught up and know what's going on, then New Perspectives is the show for you on RVN TV. Look forward to having you.
Welcome back, everybody. We have our guest, Renee, with us, and we have a client. We're going to be doing a demonstration here in just a moment. They've known each other for quite some time, and so she volunteered, and it's a tough spot to be a volunteer and to be tested on here. But we're going to get to that in just a moment. We have a little bit of the corporate world, and we alluded to it before. You know, how do we find ourselves in these traumas and these dramas and the effects of our physical body? And you're going to show us a test in just a moment of how your issues were figured out, the same phenomena and I'll let you share. I'm not going to give any spoiler. And so let's dive into your story, how you got to where you were. How did the person who actually helped you find out what you really need? And then you're going to show us how that works.
Okay. It was about 10 years ago. I was going through a divorce. My father was diagnosed with lung cancer and had to have his left lung removed. Moved into a new house with my 3 kids after the divorce. The house flooded out 3 times in a row. It was just the perfect storm. And like I was telling you, emotions affect the body. Fear, I was so afraid with the divorce. My dad, I had so much fear going on.
Everything going on in your life was just like coming at you.
And fear affects our kidneys, bladder, and I wound up with a horrendous UTI infection. It was so bad I wound up in the ER, and they put me on a broad spectrum antibiotic. I hadn't been on an antibiotic in 10 years. I had a terrible reaction to it, couldn't get through the prescription, but still hadn't kicked the infection. Put me on a second antibiotic, a third antibiotic. And back then my diet was all carbs and sugar, and nobody ever told me about probiotics. So these antibiotics, 3 weeks of broad spectrum antibiotics, just stripped my entire digestive tract.
Which is what antibiotics do, but it leaves you, the individual, in a very big detriment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I was so sick. I've never been that sick in my life. I was so weak, fatigue, brain fog, panic attacks. I had never had a panic attack in my life. I was having panic attacks.
At this point, what was the first strategy of trying to get all this figured out?
Went to every GI specialist imaginable. I had candida yeast coming out both ends of my body.
Wow. Yeah.
And nobody would believe me. That was the most difficult part. Nobody in Western medicine would believe me. They kept saying, you're a stressed out woman going through a divorce. I'm like, this isn't normal. Like, I had a yeast infection every month for a year. I had oral thrush. So yeast are very opportunistic. And when you don't have your good bacteria to hold them back, they actually can turn into a very pathogenic form, that like a hyphae form that almost, it's like a drill that just drills into that intestinal lining. And I wound up with what's known as leaky gut and a SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
So how'd you turn all this around?
I took my health back into my own hands. I wasn't getting anywhere with GIs. They weren't helping me, and I couldn't believe it because I'm like, that's the organ that they studied, but they weren't helping me. And I finally started ordering my own tests, stool studies. I did an organic acid study, and I would go to these GIs and show them the studies, and they said, oh, we don't do that type of thing. So I decided to go to the holistic route.
And they started helping you?
They started helping me. They had protocols. I did the homeopathy. I met a holistic woman who's my mentor, and I couldn't believe it. Like within a month, just being on different homeopathic remedies, I just started to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And she taught me about energy medicine and muscle testing. And then I learned so much about the gut from everything that I went through that I said, I have to do something with this.
Right.
So I went back to school for natural health. And
Beautiful story. Well, through your own challenges, you've become basically an expert, I would imagine, in GI work.
And GI,
and now
right.
you've become trained in these methods. So I'd like you to demonstrate, because this is stuff that I do in my practice in different ways, and not like this is different from you. But this phenomena of the human body that your practitioner probably used to test you. And this is, if I have it correctly, an at-home version people can start to do?
Right, people can do this on their own. They can test different things.
So what is this called? And if you could, let's get into the demonstration. How do we do this?
Okay.
So what is this? What do you call this?
Well,
We're
this
gonna
is,
stand up
this
here,
is
so
a
pardon
form
us.
of muscle testing. It's called the tip test that anybody could do at home. I used to look crazy in supermarkets because I'd be testing different foods and holding them you hold whatever you're testing to your solar plexus. But I'm going to have Truda face the audience. All right, and I want you to close your eyes and put your...
If I'm tipping, do you want me sideways?
Oh, you want to tip this way?
Well,
okay.
only because...
Oh, yeah, so they'll be able to see.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to put your arms at your side, close your eyes.
So we're actually teaching the technique of what to do first.
What to do first.
So close your
You're
eyes.
going to close your eyes, put your arms at your side, and then you're going to say, "My name is Truda."
My name is Truda.
And tell me which way your body tilts. See how she's going forward?
So the body will always tilt
Catch
forward
me if I fall.
or
I
backward.
have heels on.
Right.
I got you if I'm behind.
Right.
She's got you
When
in
it's
front.
the truth, your body is going to go forward.
Forward.
Now, stand up straight, close your eyes, and say, "My name is Bob."
My name is Bob.
Tell me which way you're tipping.
There we
Tipping
go.
backward.
Very good.
So you can take any supplement, foods, anything you want to test. You're going to hold it to your solar plexus. And first you're going to always test your polarity. Always say, "My name is Truda." Make sure you're going forward when it's your name. Say another name. Make sure you're going backwards.
So like you're doing a pre-confirmation that your body's leaning the right way, you're feeling the right way, you're not frazzled out.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And if you're not going forward when you say your name, that means your polarity's off.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do a couple cross, which are like this. That's it.
Okay.
Go like that. And
So
that'll get your polarity back.
This helps rebalance you and get you testing properly.
Right.
Yes,
right.
okay.
Another thing that could throw it off is if you're dehydrated,
Yeah.
you might want to drink some water.
Yeah.
But then you'll want to retest and make sure that when you say Truda, you're going forward. And when you say another name, you're going backwards.
Yes.
And then you can test anything. It's amazing. Your subconscious knows what your body needs, what it doesn't need.
Yeah.
So that's the tip test that you can do.
It's almost like the human pendulum itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very beautiful.
And then I wanted to teach you what is known as the triple warmer smoothie. We're constantly putting ourselves into fight or flight. Just one disturbing thought can put you into that fight or
Hijack
flight.
you.
Right, where your body feels like you're being chased by the tiger, but it was just one thought.
Well, so the triple warmer is the meridian in acupuncture points that are related to stress response, right? Yeah.
Right.
So when we're agitated, we're angry, we're in fear, those things are really kicking up in the triple warmer.
Right.
I got you.
So this is a great thing that you can do to get immediately out of it. And Trude, you can try it with me, but you're gonna take your hands to your forehead and you're gonna take a nice deep breath. Breathe. All right, then you're gonna comb your fingers down, go around your ears, and come down and land on your heart chakra. Then you're going to take your right hand over your left ear, go around the ear, down that left arm, and swipe off your left ring finger. Then you're going to take the opposite hand over the opposite ear, down around that ear, over down that right arm, and swipe off that right finger. And that'll instantly take you out of fight or flight.
It does make you
I
feel so
felt it
good.
right there. I did feel it right there.
Isn't it
It's
neat?
great.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
do that
amazing.
before. I did that to any kind of meeting you have. You can do that, and it tells your body, I'm safe. I'm
Yes.
not being chased by the tiger. And if you're in a corporate job like I was, you're gonna, and you're at your desk, and you're feeling that something just happened on your computer, and you're getting into the fight or flight. You can do this at your desk, where you're going to cross your legs. Can you say that?
So you have your left over top your right.
Yeah, or right, which either way you want to do it.
Okay.
And then you're going to take your one hand, turn it out like that. Take the other hand, clasp them together, And then you're going to bring it down and then under your chin. And then take a deep breath. And then you're going to make a TP with your hand and go at the bridge of your nose. And then you're going to do another deep breath. Okay, and that'll get you, this realigns all your energies, calms you down. So those are 2 things for relaxation. And then if you're at the office and you need energy, I have 2 tricks for you that you can do.
We're going back.
Shoulder cross pullovers. Where you're going to go from the right and swipe down. Instead of grabbing that Snickers bar for energy, you're just going to do these shoulder swipes. And that's going to instantly give you energy. It's just a really easy, simple trick to bring your energy up. Or you can go back to those cross crawls that Truda and I were doing, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's 2 things to give you energy.
Wow. So I'm going to suggest that everyone at home watch this a couple times to start to wire this in, take some notes. Now, I know from personal experience, because I'm sensitive to people's energy, and some of these types of things I've done, but I've only done one of these exercises before. 3 of them were new for me. And so the immediate effect I felt. So I know this is going to be impactful for everybody at home. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Now, what pointers, since you've done this before, and what pointers do you have for people doing that tip test first? Is there any things to pay attention to that could sway the results? You mentioned being switched, or I call it switched.
Oh, your polarity.
Polarity, yes.
Yeah.
And what other things could people look out for to have a better test when they're doing the tip test? Any ideas come to you? Because one of the first times I did this, I'm asking, should I have more pizza? And I'm like, yeah, leaning towards the yes, but I knew better though. But I wanted that pizza.
Right, when you really want, you have to watch that you're not rigging the test the way you want it to go.
So it really takes an authentic place.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I always like to have the people do it in a statement form. Don't ask in a question.
Such as?
You're going to say, hold whatever you're testing, your solar plexus, and you're going to say, this is good for me. And if it's good, your body will go forward. If it's bad, you'll go backwards. And you can also say, like, if it's a supplement, say, this is good for me. If you go forward, say, I should take 1 of these a day. You'll tip for it. I should take 2 of these a day, and it'll even tell you the exact dose. Whether you need 1 or 2, should I take it in the morning? It'll let you know.
Right.
But always try to do it in the statement form.
Okay, well that's a great bit of advice there, Renee. Thank you for that. Now, if you could help people understand how to get a hold of you, where do they find you on the internet?
Okay, you can check out my website at www.holisticgroove.com and Instagram holisticgroove.com. And can I give my number?
Absolutely.
You can call me at 215-850-3628, and I would love to help you.
What's the biggest important thing for people that are maybe unsure what to do with their health, with their life? They've been going down the medical route, but the whole alternative, holistic side of things is a little scary or uncertain for them. I think both of you probably are in using holistic. I know you are, but you use
we
holistic.
both went through the same gluten intolerance and dairy intolerance.
So perhaps this question is for both of you. You know, getting the quick advice of how to open up the trust factor in these alternative therapies. Any thoughts?
For me, it was desperation. So when I was getting these suggestions, I just needed to try them because there was no other option. And when you're in pain, you want it to go away.
Yeah.
So you'll try anything. Yeah. And then you're so grateful that these options are out there.
Right.
Well, it sounds very similar to
Mine
your
was
story.
Desperation too.
Yeah, and I admit some of the things in my life the same way. So maybe that's a human condition we have to be aware of moving forward.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for
Oh, you're so
being
welcome.
the participant
Yeah.
today.
Thanks for-
Thank you for watching, everybody at home. Reach out to Renee. She has a world of knowledge that I highly recommend for every person. Yes. So blessings, best regards. We'll see you Sundays and Mondays at 9:30 a.m. for Unwinding Stress.